Rob, you've done a fascinating presentation this evening talking about the future of the world, essentially. How would you summarise what the key future trends are?
Let's first of all say it's about the influence of technology on the world. So it's all based on this technology revolution. We are making tools that allow us to change the way we do business completely. So we've made networks and we make computers, and all this is doubling every 18 months. That means exponential growth. And it's very difficult for people to imagine what exponential growth means, because you're doubling what you have, and what we have is already powerful, but now we're doubling the next 18 months and then redoubling and redoubling. And that means that you really have tools that are infinitely powerful almost.
So technology is often portrayed in a positive light, but can you see that, you know, in the next 10, 20 years there are kind of negative aspects of this development?
Because this might, as this futurologist says, this might run away from you. It might become so complex that you, the human being, doesn't understand what's going on anymore. And then we've got technology out of control. We try to keep it in control. And first of all, we're making all the things based on the new technology. So we now do business in a different way. We can insert this technology in the way we do things. And that, in my presentation, was made quite clear, is going to cost jobs, many jobs. Because all these middle jobs, like the economist was saying, the middle jobs are disappearing, the lower end jobs, the cleaning and all that, that will stay, and the high end creative jobs. And that's the core of my message. So the middle jobs, working at municipalities, working at banks and insurance companies, that is going to be done by just a few people, and the rest will be robots and algorithms. Computers are taking over.
And how do you think governments should respond to that challenge or issue?
Now just imagine Europe. Europe is an aging population, so we have fewer people, and we have few highly trained people, for instance, and a lot of people that really don't fit in this play anymore, in this game anymore. So we have fewer jobs, but of course high caliber jobs. And we can do our things European. So the European Commissioner said this week we want to go for a third industrial revolution in Europe, and he means of course new industrialism, new with robots and all this stuff. We start producing again. Europe will start producing again in this very, very clever and smart way. But what does it mean to the world when you think of Africa, where there are 3 billion people going to be in 2050, very low education, very low training,
yeah.
And the only thing they have is numbers. Who will give them jobs? They are going to be tremendously frustrated because they can't find the connection to this new world that we have. I mean, even if China is losing jobs because now Philips is doing automatic production of shavers in the Netherlands without people, then you can imagine what's going to happen if the Chinese are losing out. Imagine what happens in North Africa. So there you get tremendous problems.
So projecting forward in 20 years' time, do you see the world as being a better, worse or same place?
It's only a question of where you sit. And you're happy and I'm happy to be born in an area that can adjust to the new world. We are setting the speed. We are setting the new trends in the United States, in Europe and in China. But what about the rest then? And I'm not talking about Australia, because they of course have the same thing. They live in our world and we can all play the same game. But this is very advanced games. But what happens to the ones in Southeast Asia, in Arabia, in the rest of Africa? That's a problem that I can't solve with what I'm talking about. That's going to be aggravated.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.